my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to brighten up your classical singing voice. So if you want to be singing with more pop sound in your voice or just bring more ringing quality in your voice, then stay tuned and listen to these 5 tips. My first tip for you on how to sing brighter is to pay attention to your larynx placement. Your larynx is basically your whole vocal cord system, including the muscles surrounding your vocal cords. Depending on what notes you're singing, whether they're high or lower, and what style of music you're singing, your larynx moves up and down in your vocal tract. When we sing classical music, our larynx is a little bit lower, and we can feel this by doing a yawn and feeling the dropping in our throat. Let's yawn now together and say the word hello. Hello. You can hear my voice gets a little bit darker. This is great for opera when we want a lower, more rounded tone, but when pop it might not be as desirable. So how we're going to fix this in pop music or songs that require a brighter tone, we'll first swallow to feel the larynx go back up. And then we might also try speaking some of the words of our pop song first and then going and singing them. That's a great way to find a neutral or a slightly elevated larynx placement that's more desirable for a brighter tone in pop music. This will make your sound a little bit brighter, and it's really a big difference between classical and pop singing. My second tip for you for how to sing pop music when you're classically trained, or how to brighten up a classical voice, is to utilize your forward resonance. Now, this might have been a term that's been bandied around a lot in your vocal lessons if you're taking them, but basically forward resonance is the act of feeling the vibration in the front bones of your face, nose, cheekbones, and really being able to control and contribute to that vibration. So the first step is really developing awareness of that vibration. And you can track it sometimes where your lips meet, behind your teeth, where your tip of your tongue is. And I'm gonna show you how to do that now with a few different syllables, okay? So the first one that I want you to do is a zzz sound. Zzz. And can you feel that vibration in your teeth as the air passes through it? Zzz. Okay, let's try it on a few notes. Zzz. Very nice. The next one that we're going to use is an N sound. So if you place got this crazy curl going on here. Curly hair, guys, it has a mind of its own. If you place your tip of your tongue behind your top teeth and you say, like the N sound is in Nancy, just place the tip of your tongue gently there, and you'll feel that vibration under your tongue, okay? So let's try the same series of notes with that sound. Excellent work. Okay, the last sound that you can use that'll really, really help you with forward resonance is your M sound, as in monkey. If you place your lips gently together, you'll feel a little vibration between the lips. Very good. Now you can use those 3 sounds to sing your songs on to give you that more of that pop tone and to train your classical voice into becoming a little bit brighter. So if you want to figure out how to sing with a more poppy tone, forward resonance is a great place to start. My third tip for you guys on how to sing a little bit brighter is your tongue position. Your tongue position needs to be forward and high. And that really creates a slide for directing your sound out so other people can hear it. When the tongue position is lowered, it's going to create a darker sound. And this is one of the big differences between pop and classical singing. This is something I actually talked about in my video on belting. So if you want a suggested video to go to, I would definitely go there. Belting is a great technique that we use in pop music. But mastering this bright sound first is really, really important. And one of the ways that you're going to do that is by the position of your tongue. And this is really key to having a brighter sound. So we're gonna try an exercise now, and I want you to think about having a nice curved high tongue when you do this sound. All right, we're gonna do it together. It's gonna go like this. Key, 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 key. Like the key that you turn in your car for your ignition. Key, 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 key. Key, 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 key. Key, 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 key. Good job. Keep working on that. Use a mirror, whatever you need to use to make sure that that tongue is always in that fronted position. Of course, there's going to be times where it has to move up and down, but keeping it in the front of your mouth and keeping it high through those vowels is really going to help you with that brighter tone quality. All right, guys, I'm going to get to you with 2 more tips on how to make your classical singing voice brighter. But before I do, I just want to do a shameless plug here and say, please subscribe, please hit the bell, please like this video, please comment below with more of what you want to hear about improving your singing voice. I would really appreciate that, and that will help me get some more great content for you guys out. All right, so my 4th tip, attention to places within the voice is really, really key when it comes to singing with a brighter tone quality, when it comes to preparing yourself for singing pop music. Way back in the day, classical music was very focused on head voice in singing, especially for women, and for men it was more focused on the chest voice. Now we've kind of flipped the script a little bit, and we're now with pop and contemporary singing, we're singing a little bit more in mix as women and with a little bit of a brighter, less fluty, would we say, tone quality. Some areas that we have to be aware of, therefore, is to brighten up the head voice and have it cut through a little bit more and not be so fluty and spinny, although we do want a relaxed voice for sure, but we don't want a sound that's so spinny it comes across as light and airy. In this style of singing. And then the lower range, sometimes with classical singers, therefore isn't very strong in women because they're so used to singing in the head voice. So we're gonna have to work on strengthening that. And then in an area called the passage voice is really, really key when it comes to singing with a brighter tone quality, when it comes to preparing yourself for singing pop music. Way back in the day, classical music was very focused on head voice in singing, especially for women, and for men it was more focused on the chest voice. Now we've kind of flipped the script a little bit, and we're now with pop and contemporary singing, we're singing a little bit more in mix as women and with a little bit of a brighter, less fluty, would we say, tone quality. Some areas that we have to be aware of, therefore, is to brighten up the head voice and have it cut through a little bit more and not be so fluty and spinny, although we do want a relaxed voice for sure, but we don't want a sound that's so spinny it comes across as light and airy in this style of singing. And then the lower range, sometimes with classical singers, therefore isn't very strong in women because they're so used to singing in the head voice. So we're gonna have to work on strengthening that. And then in an area called the passaggio. So I'm gonna show you 3 exercises really quick to work on those areas. So for the lower notes, one that I really like to use is to sing on deep, 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 because what are we doing? We're singing deep sounds, and that D helps us to project out and be heard. D, 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 D. Singing on D there because that's sometimes another one that I'll throw out, but you get the basic idea. The D in itself isn't, D versus deep isn't the thing that's most helpful. It's just that plosive consonant, that explosive D right at the beginning. Okay, let's look at the passaggio next. So we're gonna sing on nya, nya, nya for the passaggio, like what I would call our wicked witch sound, and you'll hear the combination of notes here too sound a little bit wicked witchy. Okay, so that area is the passaggio idea for me. And that helps to brighten it up so it doesn't get lost or the sound pulls back away from my forward resonance, away from the bones of my face. Okay, so for the last one, we're gonna work on our higher notes. Okay, and for this one, I'm gonna sing on me, me, me. Notice I'm using our N's and M's again to help us with our forward resonance. Me, 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 me. 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 So I'm really feeling it in the front around the bones of my face here. So this is how to sing with a little bit more focus in your voice, how to sing a little bit brighter. And these are some of the differences, again, between pop and classical singing. Okay, let's get to tip number 5 in a second here. My 5th tip for how to sing with more pop tone and brighten up a classical voice, imagination. All right, this sounds a little kooky, but visualization is a really, really important part of voice because it's such an abstract thing that we can't really see it, touch it. We can feel it maybe a little bit, but it's a little difficult to really know what we're working with. So use your imagination when you're singing to help focus your tone and sing with more brightness in your voice. Visualize your air coming out in a very focused stream, okay? Now, part of what's gonna help is the tongue positioning again and making sure that your mouth isn't too widespread, or too puckered, but if we really focus that tone coming out in a forward direction and thinking about it in a very slim way, imagine it almost like laser beam like, as opposed to having so much of an aura around it, that can really help us to focus our tone and bring some brightness into it and make that classical voice sound a little more poppy. Okay, so if I think about having an aura in my voice, like classical sound, ah, and you notice as well I have some vibrato coming out there, and if I slim it down, ah, so I'm slimming it in, putting slim fast on the sound, and really having a clean direction. All right, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, follow your passion and keep hustling.